Hello everyone, back again. Catherine with tortellini soup and garlic bread. So I'm gonna warn you, if you are a gluten-free eater, you're gonna need to make some slight adjustments to this one. Follow your recipe, but you would need a gluten-free pasta. So instead of like a tortellini like this, you could do a brown rice pasta or chickpea pasta, something like that. And then the garlic bread that we're gonna prepare at this time is not gluten-free, but again, you could either just omit the garlic bread altogether, or you can find a gluten-free option. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna run through our ingredients real quick. And then I'm gonna tip you guys down so you can see what I'm doing. Your Italian sausage, and I did go ahead and brown this. Then you're gonna need onion, diced, garlic cloves, flour. If you're gluten-free, obviously omit the flour. Your Italian seasoning, and then salt and pepper. And for our garlic bread, we're gonna use butter that's melted, and then this garlic and herb seasoning. And I think that's it. So this is for meal prep, and then when you actually do on cooking days, so when we do freezing, I am going to prepare this for freezing. I won't actually put the chicken stock in this bag. It takes up extra room in the freezer. It also can break the bag and spill, which is not fun. So we'll be able to essentially put everything in this bag, and then we're going to keep the tortellini just like this. You also could purchase frozen tortellini. She's going to keep it with, and it's all together for ready for day of cooking. So here we go. All right, so we've got our little handy dandy bag here, and I'm going to start with onions first. And this was one yellow onion. All right. Okay, and then the next thing I'm gonna add is the browned or Italian sausage. Because I'm gonna cook this later and freeze it, I didn't need to pre-cook the onions or anything like that. There'll be plenty of time for that. I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle the flour in there, and that is just being used as a thickening agent. Okay, garlic press, and we're gonna do 3 cloves of garlic, so they just go in and squeeze. And if you've been here before, you'll remember that my tool, the removal tool got stuck in the bottom of the dishwasher and broke, so I do just use a knife. Okay, number 2. And then the 3rd clove of garlic. And if you do not like pressing garlic in this way, you can certainly use the store-bought minced garlic and use that, the equivalent of 3 cloves of garlic for this recipe. I'm going to add some pepper and salt, but this will be an area you'll want to test, particularly based on the chicken stock that you use. So if you're using a store-bought, whether it's got sodium or no sodium, you may need more salt. And then the last thing is the seasoning. Here it is. Okay, Italian seasoning. And I've got just the right amount left in there. So we're going to go ahead then with this. I'm going to put this together. Seal that bag. Okay. And then I do have the chicken stock ready for a day of cooking. So what we'll do to put this in the freezer for another day, you'll want to fold your recipe and put it in here as well, so you don't have to look for that. But there's all your meat and vegetables, and then your tortellini is also just going to go right in this bag. And then you'll want to put your instructions either in this one or the garlic bread. Okay, and then as far as the garlic bread, we're going to take this butter, and it's mostly melted. I just set this at the back of my stove when it's on. And then we're gonna add garlic and herb, and you can add a pretty fair amount of this. I'd say 2 to 3 tablespoons, depending on the size of the piece of bread that you use. So what I did with this piece of bread, obviously you can see that I cut it. And so the reason I did that is so then it can fit into the bag. I can freeze it with the tortellini and it's all together and ready to go. So all that we're going to do is open each piece, and you're going to just brush, paint on here as thick as you want. This would be another thing if you really love to have like cheese on your garlic bread. You could add cheese here. When this is day for cooking, I'm gonna thaw, and then I will just bake this way or throw it on broil. And then we're going to just put one piece in there and rinse and repeat. You could have done this in one piece and then cut afterwards. Either way. The end goal is the same, right? Butter and season the bread and freeze it. Okay, and that one's gonna go in there. And then I'm gonna do this last one. All right, and I'm gonna call that good, and go ahead and put that in the bag. Squeeze out any air. So this is the garlic bread. So I'm gonna put this and this in the freezer. And also, if you want, feel free to, you could easily add another, depending on how many you're feeding, you could add another package of tortellini into the mix here. And then this I'm gonna keep in a place, you know, where I keep ingredients for these meals. So on the day it's time to eat, you're gonna add this bag with your broth either into your Dutch oven, your slow cooker, or your multi-cooker. Come back here. And so you're gonna do that, and then right at the end, before you serve, you're gonna add in your tortellini. You're gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes so it warms all the way through, and then you are gonna serve. So while that tortellini is warming, that's the perfect timing to put this in the oven and get that warm. Side salad is a great option, more veggies, but it's pretty much a meal in a bowl. It's pretty well balanced. The other thing that you will add on cooking day, if you choose, I almost forgot. This is dino kale. There's a couple different varieties of kale, but I particularly like this one, especially for soup, because it doesn't get quite as soggy as the other kind of kale. So I really like the dino. You're gonna cut it, just slice it really thin, and it's gonna go in there. It won't get soggy, but if kale is something that you absolutely won't do, spinach is a really, really great substitution for that. I would just caution you, if you're gonna have leftovers, to not put all of the spinach in. Maybe just do it by the bowl, because spinach, you know, is a little bit more, it'll get more wilty. Either is a great option, but this is my personal favorite for soups. And obviously this, darker the green, right, the more vitamins and minerals it's got. So win there. Okay, so that's your tortellini soup and garlic bread. Enjoy.